As a health and wellness professional, like personal trainer, health coach, dietitian, registered dietitian, fitness, nutritionist, health coach, have you ever wondered what on earth? With all the new innovation that's out with the access to GLP-1s, with the access to AI coaching tools, and consumers feeling more so than ever like they don't need a coach when they're inundated with information and have ChatGPT a coach, and you are left feeling like, what on earth can I sell that people are actually going to buy? This episode is for you. Or maybe you're wondering, is high ticket the only option? Can I actually generate revenue with lower ticket offers? What's the difference between a high ticket offer or a low ticket offer? If that's you, this episode is for you. What's up, coach? Welcome to another episode of the PT Profit Podcast. I'm your host, Beverly Simpson. Today, we're discussing what does the actual $1 million offer stack need to include in order for you to be profitable, have sustainable and consistent and predictable income month after month, whether you're in the holiday season, whether new year, new you, spring, summer, doesn't matter. Here's what you need to know. If this is the first time that you're hanging out with me today, welcome. I'm super pumped that you're here. I'm a former district fitness manager for a national gym in Manhattan, hiring, developing personal trainers for 5 locations and bringing in $2.1 million per year. Plus, I've generated over 7 figures in the online space in my 10 years of experience. And today I'm breaking down for you what I recommend my clients actually have inside of their business in a way that will help them actually generate revenue instead of becoming those amazing influencers that you see, know, and love telling you that you need to get this supplement, so on and so forth. No. Today I'm going to show you how you can actually generate revenue inside of your business and what the must-have now offer stack is, what it looks like, and where you would start, whether you're starting from scratch or you're trying to maximize your leverage and get some of your time back. In the last episode, which if you're watching here on YouTube, I'll link it here in the card, or if you're tuning in on the podcast, I'll make sure that the episode is in the show notes because I gave you the full structure of the actual business and how it actually looks when we go from top all the way to the bottom. And today, I wanted to give you the breakdown of what the actual offers look like, why they're important, and actually why I start with the offer. Because most people will tell you that you need to start with serving your audience, that you need to niche down, that you need to build an audience of people and have that influence your offers. Now, for me, I like the reverse. Now, what I mean by that is I want the offer brief, and specifically what I want is to know what is the promise of the offer, who this offer is for, what is the problem that it solves, how specifically do you solve it, and the reason why is because this is your business. This is what you are going to be doing all day, every day, and what you're going to be talking about day in and day out. And if the audience that you have current access to right now isn't the audience that's for you, then that's okay. If you trust the desires of your heart and go all in on you faster and start creating for the person that you are calling in, you will generate an audience much faster than you think. Now, what happens to a lot of people is they think, oh, I need to spend 30, 60, 90 days building an audience, when that's actually not true. And I'll show you what we do when we get to the next video. But first, we have to get these offers clear. And the reason why is because when you can start with the offer brief. Now, I'm not talking facts and features. I'm not saying membership. I'm not saying coaching, templates. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is we need to find your champagne client. And no longer are we using old outdated niche tactics like demographics and age and gender identification. No. Instead, we are going to find the specificity in the problem that you solve, the process and way that you solve it to deliver a specific outcome that a person wants, not what they need, not what you want them to want, but what they actually want. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we're going to promise quick fixes, solutions that don't exist, and easy ways out. That's not what I'm saying. We are going to give them what they need. And your people are likely not opposed to hard work. What they are opposed to is long, daunting, draining work. People want the fastest way. Even if the fast way isn't quick, they just want the best, fastest, efficient way to get to the desired outcome that they want. So it's the concept of sell them what they want. Show them that what they need is going to help them get what they want. Then you'll create that buy-in. So sell them what they want, give them what they need. And then for a specific person, and I mean laser specific, not only will you AI slop proof your business, meaning AI only uses the context of what is already on the internet and what's being put into the internet. But the specificity of you, your context, the problems that you solve in a very laser pinpoint way, this not only protects you from AI, it will subconsciously speak to your client that you're trying to call in. So with that in mind, here's what I recommend every single person in the health and fitness space needs for offers in order to generate healthy profit margins and maximize leverage without sacrificing the customization of one-on-one client work that people have come to love in their life. Now, especially with the use and tools of AI. Because here's the deal, my friends. AI is not going away, and the faster you can be an adapter of AI, the better, because otherwise you might run the risk of being blockbuster to Netflix. Now, what I want to offer is that AI will not replace you. People still need connection with humans. So you're not in competition with AI. It's in conjunction, in connection with AI. In fact, me and my mentor, and I have been bringing this to my accelerator clients as well, which is we have started a ChatGPT chat, meaning me and my coach and chat can be in it together. Oh my gosh, y'all don't even know how incredible that is. It's so amazing. So with that said, instead of trying to make price being the differentiating factor between you and your colleagues, or trying to make price being the reason why people say yes to you, that's not how people make buying decision. They make a decision based on price, but really what they're talking about, or what they're making the decision about, whether it's conscious or unconscious, is the perception of value worth, or at least 10 times worth the asking investment. So think of it like this. If I said, here's $1, can you mail me $1? You likely won't, because the value transaction is the same. In fact, it's more work for you to go find the dollar, put the dollar in the mail, send it to me, only to get $1 back, when the reality is if you just kept the dollar, it would save you time, energy, and effort. So your job is to communicate that the value of your program, your transformation, whether it's do it yourself, done with you, or done for you, is 10 times worth the asking investment. So it actually has nothing to do with should I have high ticket, should I have low ticket? Because haven't you ever heard the argument that it takes just as much energy and effort to sell something that's low ticket than it is to sell high ticket? Well, couldn't the same argument be made for it's just as hard to sell something for free as it is to sell something that is low ticket? And I would argue yes. Because in order for a client to actually show up, do the work, they need to consume the material. And if the client doesn't have enough emotional investment, enough emotional stake in the game, then they're not going to show up. Therefore, they won't do the work, and therefore they won't get the transformation. So it's not enough that it's free. And in addition to the fact that people won't show up if they don't have enough skin in the game, whether it's time, whether it's an email address or email real estate, or actual money, low ticket or high ticket. It's also not enough that it's free if the context for what problem it solves to get what outcome doesn't exist. It's like if I said to you, buy this cat food, if you think you had a dog, they're not going to buy the cat food, whether it was free or not, or pick up my free cat food. You won't pick it up just because it's free if you have a dog. The same concept applies inside of your business. So the first thing I like to do is create the premium offer. This is the offer that you want to be known for. This is the offer that you want to scale. And I like it to be premium. And when I say that, I mean, I want it to be a premium offer that's anywhere from the 1K to 5K range. And if you can really set up your business correctly and you have it where it can scale without hurting your profit margin. So for example, if you have a 1K offer that if I give you 100 clients versus 1,000 clients, the workload won't change, or it won't change to the degree that will cost you more. See, this is something I see a lot of personal trainers get into, is they say things like, oh, as soon as I hit 10K, then I'm going to scale. When the reality is they're not going to be able to hit 10K without a huge, massive team. And then what happens is if they have all this huge, massive team that eats into all their profit margin, then they're not going to have the room to scale. Because then they're like, oh, well, I guess I have to wait till the next 10K. But just as your revenue increases, so do your expenses. So we need to make sure that the leverage and the math behind your 6 and 7 figure business actually works, because you cannot outwork the laws of time, gravity, space. You just can't outwork it. Believe me, I've tried. Okay, so you have a leveraged premium offer, 1 to 5K range. Then what you're going to do is you need to validate that offer, and we put that offer using conversion content in front of the 3% of the audience who's ready to have it. Then we put that offer, in order to validate it, in front of the 3% of your audience that's ready to make a buying decision, whether it's the audience you have access to, or the audience that needs what you are offering. They just haven't met you yet. I'll show you in the next video how we're going to do that specifically. But once you have that all sorted, then you're going to have 95 to 97% of your audience that has a problem and wants to make an investment, but they're not yet ready to make a buying decision. So now what we have to do is we need to put content and offers in front of those people that continue to remove resistance without pressure. So here's how you do that. You remove resistance by addressing resistance to process. So answer the question, why should I listen to you? Will this work for me? And then, do I need this now? And then you also need to address resistance to self. Can I do this? Will this work for me? We also need to address resistance around the fear of tomorrow. What if I do this and it doesn't work? I've tried this all before and it didn't work. We need to address fear of, I need to accept my failure, or I can't keep investing with nothing to return. We need to keep demonstrating and communicating proof of profit. And the only way you're going to do that is when you have access to resources, time, energy, effort. And in order to have that, you'll need revenue. So when you have that cash infusion, then we can put offers in front of those people. Google recently shared this data that showed us that consumers need 7 hours of consuming your content. 11 to 14 touch points before making a buying decision on multiple, at least 4 different platforms and different mediums. So what this means is you need to have offers inside of your business that your audience is going to consume, which means that they need to have a level of emotional investment in order for them to consume that material. So what happens to all these people who keep spending all this time, energy, and effort on freebies is that they put it in front of people that don't consume it, but they have the best of intentions to. That's the thing that people miss. It's not like people are intentionally trying to not get help for their problems, but what happens is if they don't have enough of an emotional investment or they're not sure, then they usually are not going to prioritize it. I think of me as an example. I'm someone who is huge in my work ethic. I really value my work ethic. I think that it's exceptional and outstanding. And yet I too have PDF graveyards. I have the best of intentions to go and consume that material, but I just never get around to doing it. Your people have the same thing. So the way that you can increase the consumption of your material is to increase the asking investment. There is a perception of value that comes with money versus free, even if it's just less than $10. So this is where I like to put my accessible options anywhere from $9 upwards to upwards of $97. So I have offers that live in the $9 to $97 range. Now, what happens when I do is people are more likely to show up for themselves. Now, it's really important that your clients, because consumers are savvy, they're inundated with options. The likelihood that your client has been hit with someone who has spam DM'd them, someone that sold at inopportune times, that lied, that wouldn't take no for an answer, wasn't supportive or answered any of their questions, is high. So now they have experience or evidence of what could potentially happen. They're less likely to connect with someone like you. This is cause for concern because they're still in a problem, which means that they will go and seek out solutions to their problems. But if you're not present, how can they buy from the internet's best kept secret? They can't. So they will buy from someone who has no problem potentially harming them. The other thing that's important to note is that I'm not leaving the market, meaning I still want to serve my premium clients, my clients that are willing to invest in 1 to 5K transformations, 1 to 10K transformations. I'm still serving that client. I'm just addressing any and all of the resistance. So I'm not going to a different market. So I'm not, think of it like this. People who shop at Neiman Marcus or whatever, Louis Vuitton will say, they're still not spending 10K on Disney Plus. They're still investing in solutions that are valuable to them. So I'm not trying to leave the market space. I am creating accessible options to serve more people and help them get into the markets or whatever market that they want to be in. Okay, I'm not leaving the markets. But if you want to increase if you're wanting to increase the price or the investment for your programs, it's not about adding more facts and features or trying to make it valuable by bloating the actual offer. It's about communicating that this process is the best way to solve an urgent problem. That's what we're doing. And your accessible options are not taking away from that. It's not like you are coming in with, okay, well, if you don't want to pay this, then you could pay this. That's not what we're doing. We are helping your client become a better client. Maybe we give them the first win and show them that it's possible. They deepen the sense of trust and now are more willing to take that next step. So now then the question becomes, where do we put the free stuff? Do I need a freebie? Do we still have a freebie? So here is the strategic way that we use free content and that I teach my clients to create free content. Your content, like doing this podcast, it's not free. Putting up your Instagram content, that's not free, but that is your free value-adding content. Now, value-adding doesn't mean that you're going to go and sound like Google or ChatGPT. That's not adding value. Who do you know says that the encyclopedia or Google is their favorite site? No one. The way you add value with your free resources in your content that you will also put out on ads, by the way, because that's also content, is shifting perspective, because everyone is operating from mistakes and misconceptions. So when you can shift their perspective, when you can provide results in advance, quick, tangible wins, when you can create offers that invite people to say yes to themselves, that is valuable. It will require you to look at your relationship to selling, but that is valuable. So once you get that cash infusion, you've set up the business to scale in a way where people are actually consuming, then you layer in your free resources, because now you have more time, more revenue to give back to more people. Look at Alex Hormozi as an example. He built million-dollar businesses using ads, by the way, before he even created the organic content that he has now. And he led every video with "I have nothing to sell you." But that was because he didn't need that cash infusion, because he already had the business. So success leaves clues. Follow the path. So you add your free stuff in after you have the business that is already set up to scale. Let me show you how we do this. I have a free training. It is a workshop. I do this live, so you can come ask me actual questions. All of the details are in the show notes. Simple scaling, and I'll show you how to set this up so that it actually works. And then tune in next week, because I'll show you how we start to put together these awesome offers. So before I let you go, let me give you some examples of actual premium offers that we use, like examples of premium offers, accessible offers, and then some free options in addition to your content that gets layered in after your accessible options. So your premium offers can be things that are like your coaching containers that have full inside out transformations. Your accessible options can be like the first win. So think about, what is the first win? Is this a meal map? Is this your tools that have an AI coaching assistant? Is this a 30-day container of the membership? Is this a $1 trial? Is this like a buy one, get one free? Is this, there are just an infinite amount of options. In fact, I'll give you a full list. If you send me a DM at B Simpson Fitness and ask for offer ideas, I will know that you came from this training. I'll know that you came from the podcast, and I will happily break it down for you. And I'll even show you how you can use AI in a way that is not AI slop to help assist you. So great job here on this training. I will see you in the next one, where I'll show you exactly how we can now communicate using conversion content now that we have these really incredible offers, the $1 million offer stack that's easy to sell, fun to deliver. I'll see you on the next training.